Hello, and welcome back to episode 3 of Rule the Waves 2. German sluggers, brawlers, whatever you want to call them. The crazy strategy I'm going to use to try to extend the life of the battleship to the absolute limit in Rule the Waves 2. Last time we started our war with Italy. We did the initial combat off the coast of Africa. It was successful, enough to get a good amount of victory points. And now we're moving forward. We're short a bunch of ships because they were all getting upgraded directors. And we're making do with the armored cruisers that we couldn't spare from foreign service. That's all we have to start with. So without further... Oh, right. I need to get our destroyers actually running trade protection, not ASW Coastal Patrol. That gets them started. Why I built them. Now we can go. New docks completed. And a bunch of our armored cruisers are finishing, so are battleships. Basic weight. Ooh, high quality 8-inch guns. We took out an enemy sub. No raider activity. Cruiser action in Northern Europe. Yes, please. Based on what I saw from the... what remembers the settings. Very nice. Based on our first combat, I'm not expecting too much trouble from the Italian cruisers. If we sight them. And we must have missed each other. I believe it's foggy out? Overcast. Missed them. They should be headed this way. Maximum speed 22 knots, so 20. And with night falling, I think we're going to miss them entirely. It's disappointing since I was expecting pretty good success. Where did they go? Or further north. They took kind of a winding back and forth path. Interesting. Okay, well, nothing for it. We missed them. We do have quite a bit of money. I'm trying to remember whether we designed another ship or we quit last time. Victoria Louise, the V5, the Wittelsbach, and the Von der Tam. And no, we had not designed a new ship. Client to open the Von der Tam. Should we upgrade her? Drop down to 8-inch, one quality, significant change. Or the 8-inch working? More than enough armor, we can reduce that. Use that elsewhere. I have so much on the... maybe 7? Future-proof it slightly. And it bears no resemblance, and I might as well just build a new ship. See, what's the auto generator think? Graf Spee. 1 knot faster. 2 11-inch guns. It's up to a similar rounds per gun to 180. Got the high quality 8-inch. High quality 5-inch. Excellent. One of my favorite calibers. And we do, can't quite do that many secondaries. Don't want cramped accommodation. Like to do reliability, but I don't think I'll be able to fit all the needs for that. Can't do dual turrets, not yet. Alright, I can. I'll save some weight. I'm confusing this with one of my other games now. I think 8-inch inches of armor on the turrets, 3 inches on top, 6-inch on the secondaries. Rather 7, but I don't think we're going to get that. Get the 2 inches uniform, deck armor, belt extended will be 2, conning tower and the belt will be 10. Reduce that. 8. Tower will be 12. And actually get the higher priority. Scattering a 5-inch all across the deck. Big slots. Torpedo defense yet? I think so. Nice good sloped deck. Decent amount of armor. I really like this ship. It's okay. That is. I don't really need that many tertiary guns. I'm not going to go above that. 16 is plenty. Got reliable engines. Long range. Do we even really need that? Should we just use? Oh, clear the torpedo mounts. Don't need those. Alright, well, I'm pretty happy with her as she is. I think we can squeeze. Well, actually, we do 26 knots. Reduce the ammo for the primaries to 150. That'll future-proof the fire control. Leaves us a little bit of space, makes her slightly faster. I was thinking of reducing the displacement instead. Would have looked a little bit more like. Wow. Pretty significant reduction in size. Enough that I'm kind of worried that they'll complain about the secondaries, but they don't. So that puts us at a total cost of 77 million. Vice. $93 million. Not that much smaller. One knot. I think I'm going to leave her smaller. They're smaller, cheaper, get more of them. Still has plenty of hit points. Flotation. This will be our Graf Spee. We'll see how that comes out of the design process. Could actually do both. This is a design process. I'm just surprised that they're so not so much bigger than our existing ships that are under construction. Actually, same size. Just a knot faster with the high quality 8-inch instead of 9-inch. And more armor. Open up the Graf Spee. And more armor. Now that's an ideal ship. I don't want to turn the Von der Tans into Graf Spees now. Use time limits procedure input. I've been running into some errors. You notice this is release candidate 3 from, it's not the demo copy, it's the development copy they have internally, which I got a copy early because of winning Tortuga Power's tournament, and they gave a copy away to whoever won that tournament. So there's just a number of small errors. I assume the AI tried to reduce or accelerate the construction of one of their ships, and it's causing an issue. So it would be unfortunate, but I might have to restart this at some point. Pump that up to high. I don't mind collecting all of our ships up here. Do need to distribute the upgraded armored cruiser. One needs to go to Central Pacific. One needs to go to South Pacific. One to Southeast Asia. Northeast Asia. West Africa, South Africa, Indian Ocean. Sent 2 to Northeast Asia because it required to. West Africa, Southern Africa, Indian Ocean, and Northeast Asia. So West Africa can go straight back to Northern Europe. Actually, can I rebuild them from here? Yeah, I can just take her in hand. The rest of the fleet will stay up in Northern Europe for now. Nope. I don't want to let them off easily. They get one merchant. It looks like they have another sub out. I'll actually wait one. Southern Africa. Next one I'll take in hand. It sees around Tonga, Southwest Africa. Alright, they're starting to get more of their raiders out. Yeah, they have a big chunk of their fleet. They're kind of distributing around Africa now. That in mind, shouldn't have a heavy presence in Northern Europe. Get the Southern Africa non-refitted. Or no, we haven't generated the turn, so they're not down there. We have 8 battleships. We can send, keep 2 in Northern Europe. Send 2 to West Africa. 2 to South Africa. And 2 to the Indian Ocean. That should cover us in that area. Making sure the Italians don't get too pushy. We can't afford to lose that many victory points. More armor quality, 3 centerline turrets. Let's rework the design. Why would we need to do that? Because we have a Q turret now? I have a funnel there. I do. Forward centerline. Not absurd. Let's see, where's the R turret? Perfect. Seriously overweight. And we'll just make her bigger. To the tune of about where she was going to be originally. Just so we can fit that 11-inch in. But that definitely increases our primary armament by quite a bit. This will be our new Graf Spee. 4 months. Because we've pretty much completely redone it by adding that turret, changing the displacement. Is there anything I can spend money on right now? Let's see. Base capacities. I want to get these up to at least 100. Germany's got holdings everywhere. Marianas, Carolines, Bismarck Archipelago, and the Marshalls. That in mind, we should have Southern Africa, rebuild, Indian Ocean, rebuild, have South Pacific's where they're headed next, and Southeast Asia, so we'll get those ones refitted for the newer fire control. Oh, let's build up our docks. Alright, increase in shipbuilding. Italians are getting more subs out. Thinking some of our merchants. Oh, that's a lot of messages. We've got the South Pacific covered now. And Southeast Asia. That allows us to get, what is next? Get the Central Pacific, Northeast Asia. So it'll be those last 3 we'll take into hand next turn. Really not much action so far. Mostly just plinking away at each other's victory points by our various methods. Do have quite a presence around Africa. I will fund that. I have money to spare right now. For submarines. Scuttled due to lack of fuel. Hey, can we build just coastal submarines right now? You know what? I'm gonna do it. Got the money, I've been trying to figure out something to spend it on. Monthly build cost. 1,000. They might do something. I might leave it on prize rules too. We'll see. Range calculator. Then we'll take our last 3 cruisers in for being rebuilt. Have the one in Northern Europe now. So how are we looking? Actually, have this map mode, don't we? Italians are heavily into Southern Europe. Or, pardon me, Southern Africa. So, let's get our newly refit Prince Adalbert. The only one that's refit so far. Move them to West Africa. Move West Africa to Southern Africa. I'll guess a little bit more power in that area, while blocking them on the east and west. Massive success for the latest army. No border changes? No. Unacceptable. More weight savings. Better torpedoes. 7 merchants sunk. And go to the build screen. Build 2 concurrently. 2 Graf Spees being built. The Italian fleet moved to West Africa. I'll take the Southern African cruiser and move it into the Indian Ocean. Basically going to double up our cruisers, so there'll be 3 heavy cruisers and 2 battleships in each of these zones. And that'll prevent them from moving their fleet without hopefully triggering some sort of combat, which they aren't. 4 merchants sunk or lost. Let's get this one over into the Indian Ocean as well. Have northern. Alright, so that one will go into Southern Africa. Okay. It looks like they're splitting their fleet. Maybe they're trying to trigger an invasion, except it's not triggered and I don't think anybody has any range. Yeah, we don't really have range to invade each other. There's not much they can do other than to cause us victory point loss by dominating a zone. Better weight savings, armor piercing, better signals, sunk a submarine. Oh, so that's the total number of submarines they actually expect. Okay, I was misreading that. I thought that was additional ones that were coming into service. Move this guy into Southern Africa. This one into West Africa. Next turn we'll have the last one, or no, the turn after last. Rebellion in Japan. Steam turbines. Starting to look like we might have a dreadnought soon. Raiders, Italian raiders are unsuccessful. And that's right. They haven't come off the slips yet. Really uneventful. Not too impressed by their armored cruiser. Got a sub operational again. Alright. One more down into West Africa. Okay. That error again. Concerns me somewhat because it makes me feel like the game's not operating as it should. What's wrong and how much is that going to affect this playthrough? A lot of merchants sunk. Okay. Some. Press for hard terms then. Large territories. What do they consider large? 6? Okay. Consider that large. Do I want to move into the Mediterranean? Or would I rather knock them out of Indian Ocean for a follow-up war? Much different now, because now I'm thinking very long term. Could take Libya, Rhodes, and Eritrea, which will knock them out of Eastern Africa, and give us a couple bases in the Mediterranean that we might be able to use. In particular, one's close enough to potentially threaten Sardinia and Sicily. I like it. We're going to go with this option. We have a reduction. Take a look, see where our new invasion points are. Alright, Libya is pretty terrible. Rhodes is fantastic. I need to move something into the Mediterranean. Get one of the ones from Indian Ocean. Let's sort out everything else. We want to keep one in the Indian Ocean, move the rest to Northern Europe. Central Pacific stays, 2 in the Northeast, Asia. 1 in the South Pacific, 1 in Southeast Asia. Bring back all but 1 from Southern Africa. That was very anticlimactic. Move into Northern Europe. Then I just need 1 to foreign station for 1 turn. While the 1 ship in the Indian Ocean moves to the Mediterranean. So let's see, who do we want to do a follow-up war with? I would love to fight Italy again. I would not mind fighting Russia, France, any of those. I want to wait on Japan. Better 10-inch guns. Not enough to sway me yet. Kaiser's made a gaff. Let's try it. That was an unsatisfying war. I would love to fight the Italians again and see how it goes the second time when we can actually threaten their home area. I imagine that's going to force a fight. New docks are completed. 9 months left. Wants to raise. Choices, choices. This is kind of a wild card option, whereas this will moderately increase tensions. And I don't know if it's going to increase Italy or not. Main battery wing turrets. I think that is all the tech to actually recreate the dreadnought if we wanted to. Oh, with cross-deck fire. Going in Formosa. Russian battleships. Okay. That's not insignificant. Rate of fire improvement. Mission 3 of the subs. A cat's whisker of testing tank for hull form. I'm skeptical. Otherwise it wouldn't take another month. In which you didn't get it. 5 months. Formosa has declared independence. Wow, Japan. Very classic French looking design. A little bit less impressive, especially the speed compared to the Russians. There's the testing tank for hull form. It's interesting, they're a little bit more specific, like that reduces the horsepower requirements. Yes, I want better fire control. Battleship, of course. More shell damage. Oh, that boosted France and Russia. Interesting. A lot of things could happen at this point. That error again. I want to quit and restart. But I'm going to truck through to the end of this episode at least. Now we have to start slowing down the production. We'll slow down the Graf Spees and the Derflinger and the Moltke. Yes, yes, yes. Better fire control, please. Dmitry Dunsky. More like Dunsky, no more ski. For a new battleship. Okay. The Kaiser to authorize increased funding for the Navy. Mastering small tube boilers. Must have 3. Are we not? So does that count? We just need to resume? Okay. That counts. That counts. Thank you. Popular subscription battleship. Something that actually happened during this period, where countries all over, I'm remembering one in particular, which I think it was Argentina, or it might have been Peru, but Argentina and Brazil had an animosity, and they had their own little mini arms race, and the public raised enough money, gave it to the government, and said, build us a battleship, you can't let the other guys win. Very interesting time period. I had no idea that had occurred until not a couple years ago. I was doing some research. I was flabbergasted that the public, through popular subscription, like an early version of Kickstarter, funded a battleship. And that's not the only one. Yes, yes. Getting all of those new battlecruisers out. Accuracy improvements. What do we have left? 4 left. Better torpedoes. better industry and funding, better AP. Yeah, I would hope so. Alright, they're all finishing up. Without a doubt, Russia's in the lead. I would not mind fighting them. Superimposed X. I want to take advantage of that now. Heavier destroyers. Put you guys on ice. Oh, and we're making lots of money now. Do I design a new one? Could use a new destroyer. Happy with our battle cruisers so far. Let's design a new destroyer. We could always use more of them. Actually, let's design a corvette. No, I'm not usually keen on the minesweepers, but for the sheer quantity that you need to defend against opposing submarines, I kinda want more. Keep the 4-inch, the minimum size for 4-inch. Okay. Is it 500 the limit? Yes. Our superstructure sticks over the side a little bit. It's fine. Nobody will notice. 2 rounds per gun. Reasons. Can't do guns. Or I mean mines or K guns. Reliable? Dang, they won't go 25. Add more guns. Kind of a dangerous corvette. Like, I'm thinking of the flower corvettes from World War II that the British used to good effect. And I think they had a single deck gun, and most of the threat was through having depth charges. This thing scares me. All you would need to do is add depth charges, and it would be way scarier than a flower. Maybe I just stick 5-inch and take the penalty? 3 inches high quality, the 4 inches not, so we'll do that. Oh, right, and we can add armor. Not a lot. We can put some on these. Use, because we really don't need that much ammo. Okay. Okay, I kind of like it. How cheap is it? 2 million. That's nothing. We can build tons of these. And they're actually kind of dangerous. Alright. Right. Design study. Let's keep a running design for another battle cruiser. Get rid of those. Do forward, aft, aft superimposed. Then G and H. Cross deck fire. Does that work? When Q, R, or V are used. Oh, come on, it doesn't even stick up that. It doesn't block it. It's fine. Looks like we're gonna need a bigger boat. on those, which looks silly with the cross-deck firing. F A G J. FK or GJ. GJ. Ah, so they need to be a little bit farther apart. Alright. Throw in a ridiculous amount of 5-inch guns. Maybe I should be doing the 4-inch, because anti-aircraft eventually. Get ourselves a bigger boat. Clear that out. And we're going to need more armor for the turrets at a minimum. Secondaries are kind of heavy. Could reduce those. Not really the philosophy I was trying to pursue for this play round. Maybe we'll do a competing design. We'll do 1907 battlecruiser design, or we'll go experimental battlecruiser experiment alpha, and we'll just keep this one. Well, we still gotta fix it, but we'll keep it around. Ah, the 8-inch. That's right. I need to proof it against its own secondaries. Which is kind of the dangerous part, is leaving the secondaries significantly any amount less, because those are big enough to flash fire. Reduce the belt extended. Reduce the belt. That'll allow us to add more ammo. Oh, that's not much. Capacitors secondary guns above 3-inch must be in casemates. That makes sense. Like that really makes sense. That's something you could get away with in Rule the Waves 1. Not so in Rule the Waves 2, and I approve, despite it throwing a wrench in my plan right now. I actually feel comfortable reducing this slightly. Let's see what that gets us. We have a lot more barrels. This is rounds per gun. 10 guns. That's 1,400 rounds. Think we'll be okay. I shouldn't really be that concerned. Yeah, with 24 guns, it makes more sense for it to be. Oh, wow. Interesting. That it uses a different amount of A positions. It makes sense, again. I'm just happy to see that. 6.5. This will be our BCX Alpha. We will look at again. Then, you start that with me. 1907 BCX B, where we drop the secondaries down to 5-inch. We'll bring it back up to 24. Might just do a splinter shield, because this is enough main turrets. Feel pretty comfortable. I'm gonna drop this down to 4. Increase the belt. A few more rounds per gun. And this is our alternative BCXB. Or we can increase it by another knot of speed. Only 1,000 tons, 600 tons, which is kind of what we got when we increased the belt. But I like having the heavy enough belt. Gives us an immunity zone. 5,000 to 13,000 yards. Pretty much the whole range. Not that that'll last very long. That'll be our BCXB. I'll rename those once I decide on a concept I like. Let me know what you think. Might even put the playthrough on pause until you catch up and can actually see these, compare them, and give me opinion. Or it'll be after the fact and I'll be like, well, I went with this one, that's why, but your points are valid and I might have if I'd gotten that information sooner. We'll find out. Either way, we had a successful war with Italy. We got some new holdings, including a foothold in the Mediterranean. Looks like we're going to go to war with Russia. We designed several ships and made it another couple of years. I look forward to hearing from you. I'll see you next time, and take care.